A Russian soldier who was advancing with a group of other Russian motorcyclists for an assault failed in their mission. They encountered Ukrainian Kamikaze drones. This particular soldier managed to escape, but soon the drone operators found him hiding among bushes and tree branches. Left one-on-one with the drones, he tried to shoot them down with his rifle. He hit one of the drones, but missed the other. Other assault troops riding in the car were also attacked and destroyed. One Russian militant tried to escape on a motorcycle, but he also failed. Russian armored vehicles, motorcycles, and assault troops' cars were engulfed in flames. The Russian assault was met with a strong and effective response from Ukrainian drone operators. And this is the continuation of the Russian assault in the Donetsk region near the village of Velika Novosilka. I showed the first assault in the previous video. This one took place the following day, on April 13th. The Russians, using 9 units of heavy armored vehicles and tanks, attempted to break through deep into Ukrainian positions. However, the Ukrainian forces were prepared and had been anticipating this offensive. A reconnaissance drone detected the convoy several kilometers before it reached the main defensive lines. Kamikaze drone pilots were deployed and began delivering precise strikes. Russian tanks, under their tricolor flags and reinforced with additional armor, were hoping to break through, but their hopes were crushed the moment drones began penetrating their armor and setting the tanks ablaze. This Russian MTLB, while maneuvering around an obstacle on a dirt road, hit a mine and was then attacked by a kamikaze drone. On the damaged armored vehicles, the Russians tried to reach the nearest tree line, after which they abandoned their equipment and ran to hide among the trees, seeking shelter in trenches. Drone operators, seizing the moment, began destroying the abandoned equipment to prevent the Russians from escaping or towing it back for repairs. Russian assault was successfully repelled. Russian tanks were turned into burning cans, engulfed in black smoke. This is a Russian reconnaissance group. At night, in a jeep full of mines, the Russians were racing towards the tree line. Their mission was to mine the area and secure positions for future reinforcements. But on their way, they drove over a Ukrainian mine placed by a Night Doctor drone and were blown up. This is a group of Russian assault troops on electric scooters. Everything was fine while they were still riding on the asphalt road, but when they reached the tree line and moved onto a dirt road, one of the Russian soldiers lost control and fell. It was then that a Ukrainian kamikaze drone arrived and met the uninvited guest. Here, a Ukrainian drone pilot uses fiber optic control to fly into a partially destroyed hangar where the Russians are hiding their tank. The pilot takes his time flying in, carefully scanning the area for possible hiding places where Russian soldiers might be. Then, he spots a camouflaged Russian tank and delivers a precise strike. And here is a Russian soldier who signed a contract with the Russian army and came to Ukraine hoping to make money. Kamikaze drone pilots are carrying out a hunt through the ruins of a destroyed factory, carefully targeting every hiding spot where Russian occupiers might be taking cover. Most Russian soldiers who came to seize Ukrainian land are highly likely to end up as worm food. Ukrainian drone pilots intercepted the movement of Russian troops on the border with the Kursk region. The frightened Russians, having lost their transport, tried to escape on their own, but the Ukrainian kamikaze drones were faster. The Russians who hid in the dugouts were attacked by drone bombers. Russian armored vehicles with assault groups on their way to reinforce them were also attacked by artillery and drones. Here is a powerful explosion of a Russian armored vehicle. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary armored personnel carrier for infantry, but this time it was completely filled with shells. When the Ukrainian pilot of the fiber optic drone struck, the explosion was very powerful and tore the Russian armored personnel carrier to pieces. And here is another Russian infantry fighting vehicle. A reconnaissance drone spotted its movement, after which the pilots struck several times and destroyed it completely. Here, Russian occupiers are attempting to storm Ukrainian positions using off-road vehicles, but along the way, they hit mines. A powerful explosion turns their vehicles into a heap of twisted metal. That's all for today, friends. Subscribe to the channel to keep up with the latest news. Write your opinion in the comments. This material was prepared by Hustler. See you soon.